Hi everybody, welcome back to Root Access. Now, a few weeks ago, Jamie, you you dropped quite a bomb here on the show. People have been talking about it in the forums and on the we posted it to YouTube. Some people had some comments about it. One I enjoyed involved basically mocking that you'd go from an iPod to a Zune, saying, you know, I'm really getting tired of a fork. I think I'll start eating my food with scraps of metal and cut it up.
Yeah.
So a few weeks have gone by. What's the Zune update?
Okay, so here's the update. So I boot camped my Mac Mini. You know, I got a copy of Vista, installed Vista on that. You know, there's some issues getting that all working. Downloaded the Zune software. So I can get myself familiar with the software while I ordered my Zune. My Zune was in transit. So I played with the Zune software, and at first I thought, you know, it's a lot different than iTunes. You know, I think they just upgraded the software big when the new Zunes came out. It felt more like, it didn't really feel like a Windows application. It feels more like almost like a Flash app. You know, the way the menus move. It doesn't look anything like a Windows application. Okay. But it is limiting. You know, it doesn't have a lot of the features that iTunes has. And the more I played with it, the more I realized I kind of missed iTunes. Okay. And so I was playing with it the whole time while my iPod my Zune was in transit. And you know, I had it set up so my library would still be in iTunes, and the Zune. The one nice feature I liked about the Zune software is you can just have it monitor certain folders. So you don't have to have everything in like a central location. You can just say, look at my desktop, look at my movies folder, my documents folder. If anything new is in there, put it in my Zune library. Okay. So I had it set up so I was going to look at my iTunes library, look at my Mac desktop. If there's any video or audio files, it'll just put it in the library. Then I ran into problems. The problems were it started corrupting my iTunes artwork. So I spent all this time, over the last few years, like making sure all the artwork was right, cataloging, correcting all the tags. It wasn't messing with the tags, but it was just overwriting the artwork and choosing stuff that was completely not the artist.
Now, when this happened, did you look into it at all? I mean, is this an issue other people started having?
Well, yeah, I went onto the Zoom forums and didn't really see any. Nobody was really. I mean, there's a lot of problems on the forums. People are discussing the software, and I guess if you go to the Apple website and the iPod forums, it's the same thing. But I didn't see anything covering my issue. But still couldn't figure out what the problem was. You downloaded some third-party like tag editors to look at the file, and because iTunes wouldn't see the artwork. That's how I noticed that. I went back into iTunes, the artwork was gone.
And did it show up on the Zune software?
Yeah, but it wouldn't show up in iTunes.
Okay.
And I was like, this is weird. So, and it would say can't display artwork in iTunes. Like it didn't say no artwork, it said can't display it. So here I looked at some third-party MP3 tag editors that somehow the artwork was there, but it was corrupted. Then next thing you know, Vista started giving me the blue screen of death. Which
I didn't think it could do that.
Was really weird because I was only running two programs, Firefox and the Zune software. And a couple times where blue screened, I just clicked on a link in my web browser, and then all of a sudden it went off. I was like, what happened? And it went to the blue screen, rebooted. Another time I just clicked on a song in the Zune software, and boom, it just went to the blue screen. And the great thing is when it reboots, it gives you, hey, Windows had a problem, and it says, problem, blue screen. And then it says, do you want Windows to search for a resolution to this problem? So I was like, yes. Search. And then it would search, and then it would just say nothing. It couldn't find a resolution. So all this time, my Zune's in transit.
In transit, yes. Flash Zune.
Well, I deciding I was going to get the hard drive for it.
Okay.
So it was in transit, and then finally, with all the troubles I was having with the Zune software and the Vista, I just ended up getting an iPhone.
Oh, look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
I was one of these people who wasn't sold on the iPhone as both a phone and as an iPod.
Okay.
But I'll say
this is a shocker.
I've been converted. I've only had this for a few days now, and I love it. And I returned the Zune.
Okay.
I never opened
Unopened.
it. I returned it. And I love my iPhone.
Wow.
So there you have it.
That story had a happy ending. Is that an 8 gig or?
Yeah, I got the 8 gig.
Were you upset when the 16?
No, I ordered it the day before,
Okay.
and then I saw the price or the new release, but it was the same. It was for more money. So, and I haven't really had any problem with the 8 gigs. Like I haven't hit the limit. So,
well, congratulations. Welcome to the.
So I almost
family.
went over to the dark side, kinda.
Really, it didn't let you.
It didn't let me. No, I wanted to be a Zune fan. I mean, I like the hardware. I went to Best Buy and I'm playing with the Zune. And I'm like, I really like it. I like the interface. I like the way it moves. But the software is so poor. And Vista was just such a bear. Like, I guess I could have tried going back to XP, but at that point I had enough.
Yeah, right. Well, now, did you actually see any of the content in the Z-Tunes? What's the name of that?
Oh, the Zune Marketplace? It's just, I mean, it's pretty much the same like iTunes. I mean, they have less, they don't have videos. They have podcasts, less, but they had all the podcasts I normally listen to, so that wouldn't have been a problem. It really just came down to the software. And Vista was just, I couldn't deal with a blue screen of death when I just want to put music on a player.
That's hilarious, though, that it tells you problem, blue screen.
Yes.
Fixed problem. It should have then get a Mac when it couldn't fix it. That would have been
So, happy endings. Don't be swayed by Zune. Not that anyone listening to this show would be, but.
Wow, you never know. Well, you're right, because you play with the hardware and you think, oh, this isn't bad, and then.
So I would say, Microsoft, go back to the drawing board, work on the software.
Zune 3, work on the software.
Maybe you'll get it right.
Wow. And I know there have been some issues. I've heard from people who have podcast feeds that are audio and video on one feed, and the Zune apparently can't handle that. I am, ladies and gentlemen, you don't understand. I'm shocked by this. So you're now also an AT&T?
Well, I was an AT&T subscriber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I just changed my plan around. So.
Wow.
Looking for a good case, though. Haven't seen any.
Now, see, here's the thing. I don't have a case for mine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's like putting that bug guard on the Lamborghini. You
I
don't want to. But they are. It's tough. It's tough.
It's so slippery.
It is.
When you take it out of your jacket. I'm going to get a case for it. I've seen one I like. I'm going to order a case.
Fair enough. Did you jailbreak that?
No, I'm not going to do that. No.
There you go, folks. Who would have thought? I did not think this story would end this way. All right. Well, we'll be back with more root access in just a minute.